A small, bare meeting room. Two women, Talbot and Carol, sit in chairs, back to back in the centre. Round the walls sit four men, Alex, Nev, Julian and Squirrel. Alex and Nev sit close. They are an item. The only other chair in the room is occupied by Norton. It is his chair. They all watch the women in the centre. There is a pause.
Just take your time. You don't have to say anything if you don't want to. If you prefer to speak to a man, there'll be one on tomorrow evening. We're always here, 8 till 10:30 every night. If you can't find the right words now, you've got our number. You've been very brave ringing at all. Ringing a strange number to talk to people you don't know, that takes courage. But now you've done it once, you can do it again. We're always here to help, if we can help in whatever way we can. If you prefer to speak to someone in person, there is a befriending group. That's open between 7 and 9 on Thursdays, Sundays at 46. It's Walton Street. It's just off Oxford Road. Yeah, you can talk to me. That's what I'm here for. My name is Talbot. I'm sorry about the noise in the background. It's the rain on the roof. We've got an attic window and it's made of perspex, and when it's raining, you can hardly hear yourself think. Isn't it awful, this rain? I had such a horrible time getting there. I had to wait half an hour for the bus, just standing there while it was pissing down. I'm absolutely soaked. I'm just sitting here by the phone, dripping little puddles on the floor. The whole place is going to be flooded in 5 minutes. No, it's a joke. It's not that bad. Is it raining there where you are? No, all I can say really is that if you're gay and you're worried about it or frightened of it, you don't have to be. You're not on your own. There are thousands and thousands of gay people all around you, all leading perfectly happy, sane and well-adjusted lives. You could be one of them. I want to help you. That's why I'm on the end of a phone. If it's something else that's worrying you, we can find a solution. I mean, you can find a solution with our support. There's no problem that can't be solved somehow. I'm gay and I've never been happier. It was such a relief to discover that and meet new friends. I have a little girl called Tommy, who's 9 years old, and I share a house with a lot of friends who are gay, and I have a regular girlfriend, and she's away right now with her other girlfriend in Cardiff, but that's cool. I'm a social worker too, which is rewarding sometimes, but often you feel you're beating your head against a brick wall. I'm trying to help you. Well, that's all there is to say about me, really. I'm 30-ish, but I don't look it. My friends say I talk too much. Hello? Hello? How do you feel about what I'm saying? You don't have to say anything. Just tap on the receiver if you want me to go on talking. Just a tap to let me know you're still listening and you're still there. Are you there? I'm on every other Friday if you want to talk to me again. That means my next one is on the 16th. Remember, my name's Talbot. Talbot. I know it's a stupid name, but my given name's Fenella. What kind of name is that? Everyone kept saying, "Oh, do your mind if I schmuck?" So now everyone calls me Talbot instead. I insist on it. Maybe I'll get around to changing it legally someday, but it seems such a hassle. A name's really part of you, isn't it? What's your name? You don't have to tell me if you don't want to. I'm sorry. Sorry. I can't think of anything else to say. I'm going to go quiet for a bit so you can just think about things. Just say anything when you feel like it, but it doesn't matter if you don't feel like it. I'm still here.
Look, can we break it off here, Norton? I've got to say something by now or ring off.
Okay, break there. Concentration's gone.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm really sorry.
Don't be.
I couldn't think of anything to say.
You said it all.
Okay.
Oh.
Comments, anyone?
Oh.
What did it feel like on the other end?
I'm sure I would have said something, or put the phone down. You can't just sit there soaking it all up like that.
Why not?
It was all too much. I mean, it was really strong, sort of powerful, reaching out like that. You'd have to respond or reject it.
Was there any point where you wanted to put the phone down?
No. Oh yes, just one. When she said about ringing back to talk to someone else, it was the second time she said it. Felt like she was trying to get rid of me.
Anyone else feel that? Julian?
I was just thinking there. I think if I was scared of speaking, I mean, so shit scared that I couldn't say anything at all, then I'd be really frightened when I was asked all those questions like, what's your name? I think I might have put the phone down then. Panicked.
I couldn't think of anything else to say.
You've got to. You simply got to. 2 little slips, you see, and you've got 2 points where you might have lost him.
Or her.
Or her, of course, sorry.
But I really didn't feel it that much. I mean, mainly I felt really warm and positive, like it was someone I could trust. I think by the time we got over that bit, I'd have had trusted her enough to ride over it. And even when she was looking for a response, she came in afterwards and said it didn't matter if she didn't get one. It wasn't really a slip.
Anyone else?
It's a bit middle class, isn't it?
What do you mean, middle class? Class has nothing to do with Switchboard.
Oh, yeah. If it was an ordinary working class man like me ringing up, or lass, okay, I'd be put off a bit. I think it wasn't for the likes of me. It's the words she uses and those social worker tones.
I couldn't think of anything else to say, and I can't help being a social worker.
Do you remember any of the words?
Well, all that stuff about her girlfriend's girlfriend and living in a commune.
Not a commune.
Well, that's what it sounds like. Reading Spare Rib while you're stirring the wok. Not much to do with working up at Longbridge.
Hey, easy, love. She's doing her best.
He asked for comments, didn't he? I'm being honest.
We don't know the caller was working in a factory.
He might have been.
Or she.
Look, the caller doesn't exist. This is role play. We made her or him up. It was just me sitting in that chair. I might as well have been an orc.
It is true we're mainly middle class.
And sexist.
I don't think that's fair. We've got 6 women volunteers and 2 women's nights.
And how do women callers feel on the other 5 nights?
Oh, I wish we could get round it, class and gender.
No, he don't. He likes his own kind.
I'm sorry. I'm not going to apologize for something I have no control over.
We could change how we recruit, maybe?
How many times have you said that?
Oh, can we go back to training, please? Dealing with silent callers. Put yourself in the position of a silent caller. You're 16 and being picked on at school. You've never spoken to anyone. Or you're a married man who's seen a sticker in a cottage. You've bottled it up for 20 years. Anyone in those positions has gone through days, maybe months, working themselves up to that call. They need all the assurance they can get. And yes, they can sop it up. All the assurance you can give and more. A caller like that is going to be self-obsessed, right? You ever had a silent call?
No, they've always rung off straight away.
Probably wanted to talk to a man. But sometimes you can hook them in the first few seconds with the right telephone manner. I couldn't help feeling you were a bit brisk to start with, Talbot.
Sorry, Norton.
The pauses were good, very good. Good pacing, plenty of time to come back.
What is this, a theatre review? You're so patronising, Norton.
Trainer's job to critique, but you've got to keep going whatever happens, Talbot.
We were going for ages.
8 minutes, 25 seconds.
Is that all? Felt like forever.
I once had a silent call, lasted 52 minutes. All I heard was crying down the phone.
Oh, how dreadful. What happened?
The crying stopped and he hung up the phone.
She?
I can tell the difference between a man and a woman crying.
Did they ring back?
Well, how should I know? You like to think so, but there's no way to know.
So your marathon lost the caller anyway?
You do the best you can.
Exactly. Talbot did the best she could, and it was bloody marvellous. Maybe she is middle class, but she put herself right on the line.
It's okay, Squirrel.
No, it's not okay. You were really laying yourself out. The caller would know that they were talking to a real person, not some fucking answering machine.
I don't need protecting. I want to learn. What was wrong?
Not wrong exactly, but you got carried away. You got too personal. You got involved in the situation and it overwhelmed you. That's why you dried up.
Of course she got bloody personal. How can you avoid it? That's all you've got to offer in cases like that. That's what they want. Not some shitty pubs and clubs directory.
Oh, sure, that's what they want, but you must keep it under control. All the sympathy you want, yes, but you mustn't get sucked into it. That doesn't help anybody. You've got to pretend to some extent. You can't bleed for everyone. There's too many of them.
How can you pretend involvement?
A psychiatrist does.
We're not bloody shrinks.
But we have to be a bit schizo about it all nonetheless.
Thanks. I'll see what I can do.
I'm not getting at you. It's nothing personal.
I know.
It's just we've got to provide the best. Nothing else will do. You'll still lose some, but less.
Can't we get on, please? I've got a hot date with an Aston graduate. Can we move to the business part?
What's the time?
8:45.
Who's on the road tonight?
I am.
We'll get through if we crack on. First, publicity. Anyone heard from Dee?
She's in Manchester with Claire.
Has she done it yet?
Well, if she hasn't, it's a wasted journey.
Has she done the poster?
She's been very busy.
Not so busy she can't go to Manchester for the weekend. It's always the way. How many volunteers do we have? 30?
32.
And how many turn up? Look, it doesn't take that long to knock out a poster, for heaven's sake. We need publicity quick. Calls are dropping off.
What about reprinting the stickers?
How many have we got left?
About 500. We took a load a fortnight ago. Didn't we, love?
We did the student towers at Goster Green.
We had 500 left at the last meeting. How many of you have done stickering since? How do you expect to get calls if you don't sell the service? I covered the city centre about a week ago, but I can't do the whole bloody city.
Give me another couple hundred.
Nobody else wants any more?
Or give us a few more. I'll shove them around the sorting office again. Plenty of puffy postmen.
It's the uniform. Dead sexy.
Stop that. Please concentrate. What's the time?
5:02.
Leave it.
It's okay. I'll go.
We're not open yet.
I don't mind.
It only encourages people to ring out of hours. Let them ring back.
But will they?
Okay.
Alex goes next door.
Where were we? Stickers. Has everyone else still got stickers?
I can't help feeling that stickers is a male-biased activity. Most of them go in cottages where men find sex.
Carol puts them in women's toilets, she said.
Occasionally, not as a rule.
Women don't cottage.
I know that. But they do presumably go to the toilet.
Can't we find some other forms of publicity, other ways to reach women?
We've got an advert in the spare rib.
I was thinking of Women's Own.
It would cost a fortune.
How do you know?
It stands to reason. It's a big glossy.
Well, have you asked that advertising department? Have you written to Claire Rayner?
It's a bloke on the phone wanting to speak to a woman. I said if I'd see if there was one in the building. Do you want to take it? Either of you?
Men wanting to speak to women, very dodgy.
I don't mind.
Tell him to call back later. It's only a wanker.
He thinks he might be a woman trapped in a man's body.
Oh, come on. Oldest trick in the book. Straight men.
I'll take it.
But it's only a wanker.
This may surprise you, but wankers are people too.
We're not here to provide that sort of service.
Who says I'm going to provide that sort of service?
Well, make up your minds one way or the other. I can tell him to call on Women's Night.
No! I'm coming. Don't worry, I'll log it on the book.
Shall I come too?
Yes.
No.
Exit Talbot. Alex hesitates, then sits down again with Nev. Norton is about to protest, but...
We were talking about Women's Own.
We haven't got the money.
Girl's right. No harm in asking, surely.
But the posters...
We haven't even got a design.
But it was agreed.
One advert might pull in more than all the posters.
Oh, waste of time.
I propose we make an inquiry at Women's Own, and if it won't cost more than posters, we put an ad in.
And how will we pay for the posters?
We'll deal with it when we get there. We always find money from somewhere.
Where?
We hold a benefit or 3. What does everyone else think?
No harm in asking.
Claire turned up for that switchboard benefit at Digbeth Town Hall.
She's always appearing on Pebble Mill at 1, practically lives at the studio.
I'll ring them up tomorrow.
What about the local paper, the Echo?
You must be joking.
Their advertising manager is a born-again Christian. This is a family newspaper.
Don't queers have families?
Oh, please don't use that word.
Well, don't they?
I like my in-laws.
They're one of the last newspapers which still publishes the names and addresses of anyone who's convicted of a gay offence.
When the Samaritans had a free page, the editor took out all references to gay and lesbian. Not only will they not give us the time of day, they'd love to see us closed down.
Take it that's a no then.
What's next? Oh yes, abusive calls. You had something, Squirrel?
I've been getting some rather strange calls. I checked in the logbook, and the number of hoaxes and abuse calls in the last few months is definitely rising. Anyone else have the same experience?
Not that I've noticed.
Carol?
Yeah, last Tuesday I took one that was sort of creepy. This bloke rang up asking for information in gay pubs, and I gave it to him. I did all the usual things about checking if it was really what he was calling about. And then suddenly he asked me if I was gay, and I said yes. And he just said, "We'll have you. You better watch it." He was really quiet, and when he said it, it was sort of soft and sad. Then he hung up.
I had one about saunas. He had a strong northern accent. He wasn't soft, though. More matter of fact. He just said, "Here's another one for the chop, Charlie." Over his shoulder. Like there was a group of them there. Like he wanted me to hear it.
You never told me.
I didn't want to worry you.
Well, I've been on 7 times in the last month, and it's happened nearly every time. Last time I was on, it happened twice.
What's happening?
Seems some nasty bits of work have got the number and passed it around. Probably only psychological to freak us out. Doubt they'll attack us here. The front of the shop is fairly solid.
Come to think of it, I've spotted slogans scrawled all over our stickers. I didn't pay any mind to it.
We have no proof of anything.
What gets me is the way you can't tell. Like, it's all so reasonable and just like any other call, and then suddenly something happens. Your stomach just drops.
Too personal again. You see, it's not you that they're shouting at. They don't know you.
It's not the shouting and the fucking queer stuff. It's the way that you start to put out because you think it's a real call, and then they turn on you, slap you in the face.
I'm going to put a phone extension into here next weekend. You could make out like you were getting the operator to trace calls. That'll scare them shitless.
We were going on the Stourbridge Canal. I've hired a boat.
Won't take more than an hour if you help me.
You only find out in the last seconds and then they ring off. There wouldn't be time to trace a call.
It might put them off, stop them phoning again.
Do the calls come from phone boxes or private numbers?
Varies. Mainly phone boxes, I think.
Mine was private.
When's the extension going to be done, Nev?
Don't you listen? I told you it'll be done next weekend. I've still got 1 or 2 bits to nick from work. I may not be able to knock them off tomorrow, but I'll try.
Knock them off?
We're sponsored by Post Office Telecommunications. Didn't you know?
See what you can do. Sooner the better.
What about the press? We might frighten them off. We got something in Peace News. Or what's the anti-Nazi one?
Searchlight.
What's wrong with gay news?
Oh, where should I start?
If you got a story in any of them, they'd love the free publicity and they'd think they had us rattled. Sit tight, I say.
Do you really think the National Front read those things?
Why not? Some of us read Spearhead. Know thy enemy.
There must be something more we can do. What about the police?
No, I'm not having anything to do with the pigs. They'd go through the files and everything. It's just the excuse they've been waiting for.
That's not fair. The police have been very decent to us so far. But even if we went to them, what could they do? There's no evidence. Could be anybody.
Trace the phone calls?
From public boxes?
It's the National Front. We know it is.
If the police paid a visit to the NF, they'd know they'd got us rattled and they'd deny all knowledge.
I could rig up a cassette recorder. We could tape calls.
Oh, you could have my cassette recorder, the one you got me for my 18th.
No, that was for you. I even paid for it.
No, switchboard calls are confidential and we'd have to record every single one.
Every single male one.
There are women in the NF too.
If it became known that we were recording calls, we might as well shut up shop. And what if someone else got hold of the tapes, huh?
What about some headphones so someone could listen in?
You can have the ones off my stereo, no problem.
I think they'll just get fed up with it when they see they're not getting anywhere.
Squirrel's sudden realization of potential danger. He runs to the door.
Talbot.
That won't be then. Anyway, she said she wasn't going to cooperate with any wankers.
I suppose you're right.
If you go rushing in, you could blow a sensitive call. Sit down. Anyone else want to comment?
There's nothing you can do.
Don't you realise this is how it's going to be? For all of us, all the time. And it's going to get worse.
Don't be so dramatic. It's 5% of all calls at worst.
But it could be any call. We should double up on the rota.
We don't have enough volunteers.
Look, Norton, I'll do the shifts. I don't mind.
You can't do it all on your own. Okay, I'll do a ring round. It'll take a bit of time. What about you lot? Julian, you only do one a month.
I have a life. I have a partner.
You said you had a hot date.
Some relationships are open, darling.
Oh, I could never.
You are not a man.
Shame you can't rope your partner in.
He has a speech impediment.
Lay off, Norton.
Don't look at me, I'm on nights.
Alex?
I don't think I can manage more honestly.
Alex?
Well, maybe just one more wouldn't hurt. Put me down for Friday. Alex?
Thursday. We're never going to see each other at this rate.
You can tell me about it after, in bed.
Carol?
I'm still a trainee. I have to have somebody with me.
Could you sit in more?
I'll check with Angela.
Enter Talbot, obviously upset.
Sorry to interrupt, but this is getting heavy. Could you come with me, Squirrel, please?
Sure.
I told you it was a wanker.
Squirrel! See you later.
They both dash out. The rest are left subdued and thoughtful.
And that's the other thing about this hoax business. Don't give anything away. Don't be abusive. Don't cooperate with telewankers. Don't give information about cottages. Don't give sex education to kids. Don't give out any addresses unless you're absolutely sure the caller is okay.
Don't do any of that anyway.
But be doubly careful with this scare on, and don't arrange to meet anyone on your own. Always in twos.
No screwing with National Front members.
No screwing with callers, period. Golden rule, remember?
The women always meet in twos.
It's for your own protection, the sex thing, in case they get funny. Agreed? There's only one other thing on my list, and I'm glad Squirrel's out of the room. I don't know how you feel about this, but I think we should stop giving out his number. I don't mean anything by that, and I still think it's okay for absolute emergencies, but at the moment, he's the contact for gay students, disabled men, married gays, the gay outdoor club, and God knows what else. All the problem calls end up on his doorstep. We must stop using him as a dustbin. He'll burn himself out.
Shouldn't he decide how much he can handle?
And shouldn't he be here? I don't like talking behind his back.
Oh, sometimes people are so close to a situation they can't see the obvious, and the obvious is he's exhausted.
I caught him asleep in the phone room a while back.
Well, who else can do it? Take on the contacts. There's simply not enough people.
I can't do any of the girls' stuff, obviously. Wouldn't want to. Ugh.
We'll have to refer people to other agencies or tell them to ring the National Switchboard.
Oh, the posh lot in London. I don't trust them. Remember when we met them at the conference in Leeds? They kept trying to tell us what to do.
It's a bit like the local police calling in Scotland Yard. It's an admission of failure.
But we can't let him go on. He's the best operator we have. We don't want to lose him.
Are you serious?
He does 2 nights a week on average. He's always on the emergency standby if there's a gap in the rotor or someone can't turn up for some reason. He's always befriending too. And now he's talking about doing more. He eats, drinks, sleeps and breathes Switchboard as it is. I don't think he can take it.
But he's always done it.
I think his work's beginning to suffer. Look at the logbook. He's taking it too personally. He's starting to lose his temper.
Have you talked to him?
Not yet.
Then we shouldn't even be discussing it. It's not fair.
You're getting above yourself, lad.
I'd like something decided at the next meeting. I'll put it to him before then, promise. Any other business? In that case, meeting closed at 7:50. Excuse me if I rush, better type this up while it's fresh. Bye all.
His farewell is businesslike and a bit distant. It is clear he's not part of the social group. Norton exits.
Do you think he will tackle Squirrel?
I wouldn't put money on it.
What's he got against Squirrel? I don't understand it.
Well, they founded Switchboard together. That's what, 5 years now? But gradually, whether they know it or not, they've developed their own little, I won't say empires exactly, spheres of influence. Touchy-feely Squirrel and Mr. Organizer Norton. I don't know if they always have, but they grate on each other. I reckon Norton feels threatened and they're miles apart politically.
You know what I reckon? I reckon Squirrel's not the only one that needs a break. Anyone else coming to the pub?
I can't. I've got to go back on the phone. I thought you would wait for me.
Not a hope. Mrs. Shufflewick's on tonight. Blackout. Scene 2. This scene overlaps in time with the previous one. The switchboard room itself is off the meeting room and very small. There are maps on the wall, notices and pictures, a file of impressive proportions, and on the table, papers. An impression of purposeful organisation overlaid with laziness and squalor. Squirrel and Talbot rush in from the meeting and close the door.
In the end, I could only get away by saying I was desperate for the loo. Just hold on tight, will you?
Oh, sugar.
Are you still there? No, don't worry. I'm on my own. Well, if you did, it must have been next door. The walls are very thin. No, we've been through all of that. We don't offer that kind of service, and that's all there is to it. We have to be very careful legally. Because if someone did find out, we might get prosecuted and have to close down. You wouldn't want that, would you? Of course I want to talk to you, but not about that. I just don't. No, don't do that, please. Stay. Just stay and just talk. Hello? Are you there? Are you there? He's serious. He's serious, I swear. He's got 100 phenobarbital and he says he'll take them if I don't talk him through it while he wanks.
You believe him?
Can't afford not to.
Christ. I'll get the call traced on the office number.
Squirrel makes to leave.
Hello. Yes. I'm still here. Come back. Don't, just come back. You haven't done. You haven't, have you, Kurt? That's great, yes. Yes, I'd like to talk. Oh, let's not go over that again, please. Now, you know I would if I could. You sound nice as well. No, I can't do that either. I don't think there'd be much point in that. I'm perfectly happy as a lesbian. I want to stay that way. So I really don't think there'd be much point for either of us. Of course you can. There are lots of ways to meet people. Some of them must like you. I mean, I like you, don't I? Just because I can't do that doesn't mean I don't like you. My name's Lucy, and I've got very long, dark, shiny hair. It's just over my shoulders, and I'm wearing glasses. I'm 30 or so. No, please don't. Please, just don't do that. Actually, I'm 54. I'm 54 next birthday. Please, just talk to me a bit more. If I tell you, you will stay on the line. I'm sorry, but I really don't know. I haven't worn a bra for years. Yes, that means I'm not wearing a bra now. It's just this baggy old kind of pinky Marks and Spencer's sweater. No, please. No, don't start that again. It's pink. My girlfriend knitted it for me, and it's the first time she tried knitting a sweater, and she got the wrong size, and then it went lumpy in the wash. No, just don't. Just. Hello? Hello? Squirrel, he's got the top off the bottle. I heard him take the top off the bottle. What am I going to do?
I don't know. I don't know. Let me go to the other room.
No, just don't leave. Just don't leave. Hello. Please don't go away.
A longer pause. The caller is more confident of his power.
They're red and white, frilly edges. No nylon. Look, you don't have to do this. There are lots of ways to meet people. There are clubs you can go to, or answer ads in magazines, or there are dating agencies. Have you thought about a gay dating? You thought about a gay dating agency or counselling services? Have you heard of an organisation called Friend? You can meet and talk through your problems. No, I can't meet you. All I can do is talk to you. But I can help you if you'll just listen for a few minutes. We can help you because I think you're looking at the wrong problem. The problem lies somewhere. Hello? Hello?
Squirrel attempts to extricate himself and go to the other phone, but Talbot holds him tight.
Don't, please. Hello? Yes, I'm still here. How many have you taken? Wait, please don't take any more, please. 5. He's taken 5. Okay, I'll do it. What do you want me to say? Like I said, they're red with white frills. You're right, they're silk. They feel really soft and silky and next to my skin. Is it? Good. I guess it's getting really big and stiff. And throbbing, of course. Slowly, does it? That's right. Smooth and gentle. Just think of that red nylon. Silk. Against my skin. Yes, they are very big. Big and white and milky. Imagine you're burying your head in them. Smell the perfume. Just think. Take your time. Slow and easy. Oh yes, isn't that nice? Does it feel good? Yes. Take your time. 38. 38C.
They finished the meeting. I came to see if you...
Hello? Hello, are you there?
What the fuck do you mean coming in like that?
I'm sorry.
You know the bloody rules. You knock and wait.
Only a voice. Only a voice. Only a fucking stupid voice.
She starts to tremble violently and collapses in uncontrollable sobs.
You see what you've done? Didn't you see the red light?
It was green, I swear. I'm sure it was green. Pick up the phone.
Squirrel reaches over and picks it up. Carol looks outside, then comes back.
Yeah, I was right. There must be a connection gone. It's still on green.
Fucking Nev. Bits of wire and fucking biscuit tins. Bloody useless load of shit. Bloody post office.
What do you expect from a monopoly?
Still fix it. All right, it only takes a day.
We lost him.
Yeah, only a wanker.
Only a wanker with 5 barbs inside him and 95 to go.
Christ, I'm sorry. I didn't know. I thought you'd finished.
It's not your fault.
Just keep an eye on the echo for the next few days.
It's probably ringing the Samaritans now. They were probably only Smarties.
If we're lucky.
Why didn't you get it traced?
I wanted Squirrel here, so I did that first. It was my fault. I know it was selfish.
No, you were bloody marvellous.
Look, do you want to go now? I can take over. You both look like you need a coffee.
We can do tonight.
Haven't you done enough?
I'd like to have a chat with Talbot. There won't be much chance this week. And I've got the stats here to do as well. Look, why don't we swap and you do Wednesday or Saturday?
Saturday's out, I'm afraid. I could Wednesday, I suppose. Yeah, sure. Hey, I can watch All About Eve tonight with Angela. I've never seen it all through.
She makes for the door.
Fasten your seatbelts and get ready for trouble. Bye.
Carol exits.
Enjoy the movie. Mate, hope you get the lines right.
I'm sorry. I'm really sorry.
Why? You were great, honestly. Nothing else you could have done.
You're a real sweetie, you know that.
I'm pretty damn good, though I say myself.
And so modest with it.
You know what I'd like right now?
What?
Game of Scrabble.
Oh, idiot.
No, seriously. I just fancy one. Haven't had an evening off for weeks.
What are you doing Wednesday?
Switchboard.
No, you're not. Carol, remember?
Oh. No, nor am. Nothing then.
In that case, you're going to come and have dinner with me, and I will play you Vivaldi.
I hate Vivaldi.
It's good for you.
Uh,
Okay, the heavy metal version. And God help your poor ears, I'll stuff you with veggie quiche. No, Lorraine, with real cream till it comes out of your ears, and ply you with strong liquor. And then when you're falling into a stupor, I'll...
Have your wicked way with me.
I shall beat the pants off you at Scrabble.
Oh, sounds wonderful. What time?
7,
Dinner jacket?
if you like.
I think you look great in a dinner jacket.
Then I will wear it, as long as you wear that nice sarong.
Deal. I hope it's a quiet night tonight.
Don't say things like that. Told you so, you jinxed it.
Hello, Gay Switchboard. How can I help you? Oh, hang on a second. Oh, well, there's not much really. A couple of pubs, neither of them very inspiring. The better of the two is The Dog and Partridge. Yeah, the other one's like something out of the 50s, knock twice and ask for Dickie. Nothing. Oh, the D&P, as those in the know call it, is near the clock tower. Do you know what that is? Oh, well, where are you now? Well, straight ahead of you is the co-op, right? And there's a little alley down the side of it. If you go down there, you can cut through to the square where the clock tower is. And on the top left-hand corner of the square is the high street. The D&P is on the left-hand side of the high street. Have you got that? Hello. Yes, still here. Oh, well, the other one is Rent and a bit violent at times, which is okay if you like that sort of thing, but I wouldn't recommend it to a newbie. Well, in some ways, you'd be better getting on a train over here because the scene's much better with every half an hour. Oh, 72p, I think. The fares are shite these days. We'll give it a try. And if it's not much cop, come on over to us and give us another ring. Well, what are you doing in a dump like that? Really? Oh, had a cousin who did applied maths there. The Gay Sock does really good discos on a Friday night. Yeah, you know, heavy. Sabbath, Deep Purple, stuff like that. No, sure you can. You can dance to anything if you set your mind to it. Well, it's out of term now, of course. Hello again. Yes, no, I'm still here. I'm growing roots. Well, why don't you give us a bell tomorrow and let us know how it went? No, it's a bloke called Julian. I hope you get in. Good luck with the interview. And if you do, I'll see you at the discos next term. Sometimes we bring a coach over. Okay. Bye. Nice lad.
What a charmer.
I'm good with married men and teenage boys.
You flirt with them.
Flirting is a very important weapon in the volunteers' armory.
I hate doing married men. I'm always thinking about the poor wife he's keeping in the dark. Women with kids, I'm fine.
I'm no good with trannies. It's the kind of women they want to dress up which gets me. They all want to look either like Mrs. Slocombe from Are You Being Served Either that or Maggie Thatcher.
We all have some that we're better at than others.
Not according to Norton. We've all got to be bloody perfect.
I thought you liked him.
Since he got a bee in his bonnet about professionalism and applying for grants. We're not professionals. All we have to offer is who we are. And he's so bloody sexist.
Yeah, but...
And he can't even see it. No, Women's Night is Tuesday, so don't come bothering me with your girly problems.
That's unfair. He's been very supportive of lesbian line.
Yeah, so he can forget about it.
Poor old Norton. Damned if he does, damned if he doesn't.
Well, how's the lesbian line idea coming along?
Slowly. Trouble is, the city has too many gay girls and not enough lesbians. Ooh, is such an aggressive, nasty word, lesbian.
I'll get it. Hello, Gay Switchboard. Can I help you? No, this isn't that kind of service. No, there's no women on tonight. No, you can't. What part of no do you not understand?
Hey, squirrel! Squirrel.
Straight men, I'm getting sick of it. Nothing but wankers and sexist bastards looking for cheap fucks.
I could have handled that.
You've done one already. You've had enough shit tonight.
Squirrel, I don't need you to protect me and don't tell me what to do.
I should have asked you. Oh, I'm so tired.
Sure.
I feel drained, you know? I better go on with the stats.
He turns to a large logbook, opens it, reads.
Woman wanting to talk to somebody, told her to ring back tomorrow. Norton, it's rubbish.
He has his good calls too.
That woman might have been desperate with loneliness. She might have been terrified of her bloke coming to beat her up. She might, anything.
She might have wanted to talk to a woman.
No, I can imagine her. I can imagine her sitting there, trapped in her little council hutch, couple of kids, eaten up with misery, aching for any contact. Ring back tomorrow.
You can't take it all on your shoulders. They're not broad enough. Rather thin little shoulders, I'd say. Puny.
They're not puny. They're slender, delicate, graceful.
I know that, and you know that, but does anyone else know that?
Well, that would be telling. Ring back tomorrow.
No, hey. Norton keeps this place going. He raises the money, he fills the rota, he gets new volunteers. Now, don't keep knocking him.
He's a hypocrite.
He's only concerned about service standards. Don't take it all so personally. You know you need a holiday.
Fat chance.
I think you should just drop out of Switchboard for a couple of weeks. Yes, drop everything else too. Take off round the country. Go hitching, enjoy yourself.
No, there's nowhere to stay.
There's always places to stay. And what about other switchboards? Must be operators could put you up. They're just making excuses.
I could do with a break.
Then do it.
But who would take care of...
Don't give me that title. I'm indispensable routine. No one is indispensable, darling. Park that ego. There's nothing here which can't wait. Nothing. Except some coffee?
She exits.
White. No sugar.
I know.
No, go. I can take a call, you know. Hello, Gay Switchboard. Can I help you? Gay Switchboard here. We're a group of gay and lesbians who offer confidential information and advice on all things to do with being gay. Homosexual. Yes, I'm gay. The same way as anyone else. Well, if you want more details, I suggest you ask your dad. I'm sure I saw him sucking cock in the town hall toilets, and if you can't do that, try it amongst yourselves, kids. Look, if you could just ask your friend to stop giggling in the background, perhaps I could hear what you're actually saying. Not that I give a flying fuck what you're saying. Yeah, because you're a stupid adolescent with a mental age of 2, and nobody in their right mind, male or female, would want sex with a stinking halitosis breath acne-ridden little turd like you. Not even after your balls have dropped, so kindly put the phone down and fuck off!
He slams the phone down so hard Talbot fears it may be broken. Towards the end of the call, she has gone to the rota pinned on the wall and crossed Squirrel's name off.
No, wait, what are you doing?
I've crossed your name off the rota.
You can't do that.
I just have.
What will Norton say? It'll leave him in the shit.
He's got to find replacements.
But what about the scare?
Scare? What scare?
You know, the creepy calls, the National Front calls.
Oh, that scare. You're exaggerating.
We agreed on doubling up the rota, and I offered.
You always offer, and now I've offered you. I'm not having you crack up on me. I hate ill people.
Hello, Gay.
What was that?
Those fucking kids again. Fucking queer bastard and all that.
They're only kids on the phone. Right, I'm getting the coffee.
She exits. Squirrel opens the logbook and starts to make up statistics, putting them on a table. He pauses to read the odd entry. Suddenly he jumps up again, angry, and puts his name back on the rota. Pauses and puts it down a couple of times more for good measure. The phone rings again.
Hello, Gay Switchboard. And how long have you been feeling like this? That's a long time. But this is the first time you've done the right thing. Yeah, I know exactly how you feel. It's quite lonely, isn't it? Yeah, I used to be exactly like you. You're not the only one. You see? There are thousands and thousands of people feeling the same sort of thing. Well, they get over it and meet people and lead happy lives. You couldn't? Why not? Well, all it needs is confidence. And once you've met a few people, you'll feel better about going out and so on. Look, we can help you make friends, take you around so you're not thrown in the deep end. Yeah, I can see that would be a problem. Well, could you tell them? Do you know how they'd react? What do they say when they see us on television? No, I wasn't really thinking of Larry Grayson. What, are you like Larry Grayson? You don't sound like him. But there are more of them. Yeah. There you are then. No, I'm not suggesting you rush it. Telling your parents is tricky. Well, why should they suspect? Have you got any reason to think that they do? A lot of people don't get married till they're well into their 30s, and a lot of people never get married at all. They keep badgering you about it. How would you feel about leaving home? It might make life easier. Well, how old are you? Well, most people would have left by... Okay, I see. But sometimes you have to think about yourself. Is what I'm saying of any use to you?
The lights fade and then return again.
No, I really wouldn't advise that. Really wouldn't. It's a very nasty treatment, and the success rate is extremely low. All it does is stop you behaving like that, but it doesn't stop your feelings. No, there are no cures. Well, cure you from what anyway? It's not an illness. No, that was just the roof creaking. It's a very old building, but don't worry, nobody can hear us. Anyway, what were we saying? Oh, yeah. Yes. Do you feel ill? Are you covered in spots or lumps or something? Does your mind feel ill? You can think for yourself, right? You've got a good job, good prospects. You don't get uncontrollable fits. So where are you ill? Yeah, of course I'm right. Yes, you are different, but only in that one thing, which isn't really so very different at all. And there's lots of people who are different in the same way, but if you'll only give yourself the chance to meet them. Well, we've got a gay centre in the city. Did you know that?
The lights fade and come back again. Another 15 minutes have passed.
So there's lots going on. Well, would you like me to tell you where the gay centre is? Oh, well, you wouldn't have to do that. I could come in with you and show you around, sort of, hold your hand. Not literally, of course. Would you like to meet someone first and have a talk about it? No, I know it's not easy on the phone. Well, yes, I'd meet you. No, I don't think you're a failure. Squirrel. Yeah, no, I know. It started as sort of nickname, but then it stuck. No, I never use my real name anymore. Roger? Okay, Roger. How do you feel about meeting up in a pub, Roger? Oh, sorry, you don't drink, do you? What about a cafe or something? No, not a gay cafe. We don't have that here. Well, if anybody does see us, we're just a couple of blokes having a cup of tea in a cafe. Where's the harm in that? Okay, I could meet you outside. We could go walk around for a bit. What do you mean odd? I haven't got two heads or anything.
The lights fade and come back again. The call has been going on for nearly an hour by now.
No, we don't do that. Sorry. Don't you see, meeting up in private houses, it lays us open to... No. There's nothing wrong with you. You have a lovely voice. Of course, I like you. Yes, I do. I understand how you feel. No, look, no, please, look, there's no need to cry at all. It's not hopeless. It's not. Okay, is that really the only way? Well, then I have to tell you, I'll be inviting someone else, just another switchboard volunteer, a friend of mine, so you can meet us both. Is that okay?
The lights fade again and return only a short time later.
Okay, so you've got the address. You'll know you're nearly there when you pass the chip shop. And then you go past cinema. Yes. Okay, I look forward to meeting you. Oh God, yeah, how stupid of me. When? Well, oh God, I've got a lot of work here, which means most evenings are tied up.
He's flicking through the switchboard diaries. It's difficult to find an evening.
Yes, I know you work. What about weekends? Well, couldn't you skip church once? Or the garden centre? No, I didn't mean that. Of course, I do still want to meet you. Well, what about Wednesday? Should we say Wednesday, 8 o'clock?
He finally puts the phone down. He's wrung out.
You can come in now.
It'll be stone cold by now.
Oh, I love cold coffee, preferably with skin on top too.
Long call.
Befriending. About 30, he said. Lives with parents, blah, 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 blah. Just needs someone to sweep the junk out of his head.
Don't tell me, let me guess. You arranged to meet him Wednesday.
It was the only night I'm free.
It wasn't free. What about me? What about quiche and Scrabble?
I didn't have much choice.
You had a choice to say no, to say, just for once, I'm important. My best friend Talbot's important. How many have you got on your plate now?
I can't remember.
10 at least.
Never 10.
Count them up. You are hopeless.
Look, he only wants to meet someone.
Then why can't he meet someone else?
Because he knows me now. Stupid.
He knows a sucker when he sees one. Look, it's not just this meeting. It's the follow-up meetings and taking him there and here. And by the time you've done that, you'll have another 2 or 3 on top. It's never ending. And you've put your name down on that rota again. Sometimes, David Briggs, I could.
Do not call me that.
Sometimes, Ms. David Briggs, I swear I'll make the best quiche, Lorraine.
Oh, yeah, but without Lorraine.
Nah, without the Lorraine, I'll make the best quiche, which is not a Lorraine the world has ever seen, and shove it up your ass.
Interesting.
Will you take your name off that rota?
No.
I'll break your arm.
Oh, I don't care if you bite my balls off.
Oh, take your name off that rota.
Shan't. Can't make me.
If you don't take your name off that rota, I'll never speak to you again.
Oh, don't tempt me.
Oh, pick!
Nah, cow.
I warn you, I'll make a list of all the dates you're on, and I'll jam the lines all evening.
I'll hang up on you.
You never hang up on a caller.
You're not a caller. You're a nutcase.
I could kill you. Where are you meeting him? Maybe you can come to me after.
He's coming round to mine.
Oh, Jesus, squirrel. What are you thinking of?
Honestly, I don't think he'd go anywhere else. I tried all the usual choices. It was that or lose him.
You should have talked to him some more.
I ran out of talk. I'm so tired tonight.
And I wonder why.
I'll get Julian to meet him with me. He's not doing anything Wednesday. He won't mind.
If you can prize him away from some horny student or other.
Sometimes you've got to break the rules.
You need a break badly.
I'll survive. Someone's got to fill the holes.
Why don't you leave that to the dykes? We're good at filling holes.
I can't believe you just said that.
It's all the time I spend with gay men.
I'll tell on you. Anyway, what's the time?
9:30. Only half an hour to go.
With any luck, the rush is over.
I told you not to say things like that.
They both look at the phone.
See? Superstitious old codswallop.
So you're not going to take your name off the rota?
No. But I won't put it down for any more.
Promise?
I promise. Oh, fuck.
Told you so. Hello, Switchboard. Can I help you? From London. Well, I'll think you find it a bit dull round here by contrast. I'll see what there is. Can you hang on a second? Thank you.
He thumbs through the files.
You've got a choice of 2 groups, really. Depends on your political outlook. How do you feel about lesbian feminists? Oh, good. Me too. In that case, there's a nice little nest of radical dykes about 10 miles from you. Do you have a car? Pity. Well, what say I give them your number and maybe they can get in touch with you and arrange something. There's a couple of cars in that group. I think there is. Will you give me your number? Your number. What? Oh, sure I am. 100% certified lesbian. This number's only staffed by gays.
There is a long silence in which Talbot is first worried, then stunned, and drops the phone back on the receiver.
What happened?
Hold my hand.
What is it, sugar?
The tide is rising that will sweep you all and your filthy pervert friends back where you belong. The smoke will choke you. The fire will burn you.
Them again. That's the way they do it.
1 minute, we're just chatting. And she seemed really nice. We were on the same wavelength, you know. And then she didn't shout or anything. It was all so quiet. She just went hard, quiet and hard. She meant it, Squirrel. Like she was certain it was going to happen.
I know.
It was like a spider suddenly crawling out of the earpiece.
Don't.
Why didn't you warn me?
I did mention it, but it's difficult to explain it, how it happens. No one understands how it works until they've had one.
How long has it been going on?
3 weeks, on and off.
How many have you had?
About 6.
Oh, Squirrel.
No. Remind me to ring Julian about Wednesday, and I've got to get some more stickers. I'm going to plaster stickers all over this bloody city tonight.
Lights fade to blackout. End of Act 1. Act 2, Scene 1. Squirrel's Flat. Wednesday night. There's litter everywhere. Decor suggests someone whose tastes and attitudes were formed in the late 1960s. Fire is on. Pink Floyd's Dark Side of the Moon plays softly in the background. Squirrel has fallen asleep in a chair.
Fuck.
Hurriedly heaps papers, etc. behind the chair. Switches off the record player. Looks at the time again.
Fuck. Fuck. Where the hell is Julian? Okay, coming.
He goes into the hall. Voices in the hall. Enter Roger, followed by Squirrel. Roger in his early 30s, but appears older. He is a flabby, pasty man with a pudding bowl haircut, which his mum has given him, badly. There is an aura of despair about him. Negative vibes, awkward, no sense of humour at all. Not attractive in any sense. He cheap clothes from the Littlewoods catalogue, dull and frumpish.
I'm glad you made it.
I turned right at the cinema instead of left. I didn't realise it was a cinema, not till I was right on top of it. It had funny writing outside.
It's an Indian cinema.
Oh, you got a lot of wogs around here.
Please don't use that word. There's quite a lot of Indians, yes, and Bangladeshis and Sikhs. It's a very mixed area.
Oh, I wouldn't like that, all that dirt.
It's no different from the...
They smell. They do.
Cooking smells. They use different spices, that's all.
Taking over everywhere. They're taking over our estate too. Our mum won't go near the corner shop, not since it was taken over by Packies. And when you read them stories in the papers...
What stories? Actually, you know what? Look, do you mind if we change the subject? We're going to disagree when it comes to politics, I can see that.
Well, I'm not interested in politics. They're all the same, them politicians.
I need to make one thing clear to you. This is my flat, and there are some things I won't put up with, including racist language like that. So please watch what you're saying, or I shall have to ask you to leave.
I knew you wouldn't like me.
No, you don't have to go, as long as you promise not to make me upset. I don't want to start getting angry.
Pardon my French, I'm sure. Sorry I spoke.
As long as you understand.
No, it was just the cinema confused me.
Well, easily done.
I forgot which way you said. Sorry.
Forget it. It's okay.
I should have written it down. I thought I should have written it down, but I was scared my mum might find a bit of paper and, you know.
Well, you got here. That's the main thing.
Yeah.
Sit down.
Oh, thank you very much.
Tea?
That would be very nice.
I'm afraid I don't really run to coffee. I've given it up since it got so expensive.
Oh.
So I've got chamomile or peppermint.
I don't know. Is they tea then?
Yes.
Don't you drink real tea then?
They are real tea.
Don't you have PG tips? I like PG tips. Oh, I like the monkeys in the adverts.
Oh no, that's cruel to the chimps, dressing them in suits.
They're only animals. Don't you like real tea?
Okay, I might have some tea bags somewhere. Just make yourself at home. I'll be right back.
Oh, yeah. Things are a price now, aren't they?
Sorry, what?
My mom, she says she wonders how she manages to make ends meet.
Oh, yes. Terrible. Yeah. Look, I'll put the kettle on.
Squirrel exits. Roger looks around. It is the kind of room he's never seen before, and it intimidates him. He looks uncertainly at a psychedelic poster of the Grateful Dead, craning his head to make it out, but not daring to get up out of his chair. Re-enter Squirrel. Roger sits back up, bolt upright, as if he's been caught doing something he shouldn't.
Oh, yeah, it's a leftover from uni.
Uni.
College. University. I still keep a few things around me.
Oh. It's very unusual. I couldn't have anything like that in my room.
Why not?
My mom wouldn't allow anything like that in the house.
Well, I don't suppose you'd want it anyway. It's a bit dated.
Is it?
1970.
I wish I had a room of my own like this. Yeah. Where you could put your own things up and do what you want, you know.
Well, you could if you wanted.
Oh, no. No, we'll kill her. She's got a heart, see. Yeah, and I'm her only.
Well, one day maybe. Look, I'm sorry it's so untidy. I was going to clean up before you came, but I just sat down for a few minutes and I nodded off. It's a good job you came when you did, or I'd have passed out all evening.
Sorry I was late. I got lost, see.
Yes, you said.
It's a nice room. It's nice to be untidy in your own room.
Oh, well, I'm not home very much.
No.
Wait, what about you?
What about me?
I want to know about you. What do you do?
Well, I stay in my room pretty much. Keep myself to myself. They watch telly mostly.
They?
My mom and dad, you know, they sit there in front of the telly, you know, sleeping. Oh, like you. They're quite old. I don't like the telly. A load of rubbish, if you ask me.
What do you do?
Well, nothing much. Sit and think. Read a bit.
Oh, yes, you said you like music.
I listen to a bit of music, sometimes.
What sort of music do you like?
I like easy listening. It's relaxing. Mantovani, you know, Ronnie Aldrich, stuff like that. Yeah, I like easy listening.
Oh.
It's the stereo, see. You know, you can hear the stereo. You've got to have good stereo effect.
Oh, yes. You said you were building your own stereo.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Fancy you remembering that.
How's it all coming along?
Oh, it's okay.
Well, how far have you got?
Well, I got the speakers done.
Oh, good. Good.
Yeah, it's the amp that's buggered. Oh, pardon my French.
Not at all.
You can't get the right parts.
I see.
Yeah, you're buggered without the right parts. Yeah.
Well, yeah, you would be. What can't you get?
Oh, it's the output transistors, see. You can't get compatible output transistors. They overload the circuits, that's what they do. Speakers are 30 watt, so you need 50 watt at least if you're going to expand. And you want a set you can build on, if you know what I mean. Something that's going to grow, and I don't want to blow the amp, do I?
No, of course not.
I might go to Tandy's on Saturday, see if they've got any.
Good idea.
No, they're probably out of them too.
Well, it's worth a try.
Yeah, if it isn't raining.
They might have them.
My mum usually makes me do her shopping.
In town?
I don't like shopping in town.
Oh.
Crowded.
But they might have the parts.
They'll be out of stock like everywhere else.
Kettle! Oh, should have boiled by now. Do you take sugar?
3, please.
Okay, so I won't be a moment. Have a look around if you want. Hey, there's 1 or 2 books over there that might interest you.
He exits. Roger wanders round. He runs a finger along the top of the table, finds dust, frowns, examines the book with curiosity, picks up a copy of Men Loving Men and looks at the pictures. He is shocked, but drawn to it. Re-enters Squirrel.
Tease. Here you are. That's yours.
Oh,
Hey, what are you looking at? Oh, Men Loving Men. It's very good, that one. I always recommend it for people who are coming out.
I wish I had a friend like that.
Well, maybe you will one day. These things happen.
Have you got a friend?
I've got lots of friends.
I'd
Not
like.
the way you mean, no.
I'd like a friend.
Well, you can't expect one just to drop in your lap, just like that. You do have to work for it.
Have you ever had a friend like that?
One or two. Yeah.
What's it like?
It's a bit difficult to describe, really. It's very nice to have someone to share things with. But there are times when you want to be on your own.
If I had a friend, I'd never want to be on my own.
No, what I mean is you feel close, but you feel shut in too. Monogamous relationships have their bad points as well.
Mono, what you said?
Having a partner, just one.
I mean, what's it like doing it?
Oh, you've never...
No, I've never done it. I've wanted to. I wanted to so long.
He makes as if to approach Squirrel. Squirrel backs away and looks at his watch. Where is Julian? He is worried.
Hey, where did you get our number from?
Oh, it was on the radio. Sunday morning. They got this vicar does this phone in. My mum likes it because she can't get to church. He had this queer bloke ring him up. Vicar give him the number. I got it before Mum switched off. Vicar said it was all right.
Hey, look, can we just take this from the start? You think you're gay, right?
I've always felt, well, different.
Different?
Well, you know, about girls and that. All my mates going on about these birds they were getting. I never wanted any of that. And then I never talked to anyone like this.
Go on.
You won't tell anyone.
Why should I?
You might tell your friends for a laugh.
Never.
Promise.
Promise.
Well, when I left school, I went on this apprenticeship, left at 15. See, you did then.
No. It changed when I was at school. Anyway, go on. What did you do?
I went to be a lathe operator, 6 months. And there's this foreman at the factory, lived down our street. Well, not down the street, about half a mile down the road, round the corner. You know where the old pickle factory?
The foreman, yeah? What happened?
Well, one day he offered me a lift home. Oh, it was the last week of training.
Yeah.
Well, he said he had to nip to the breaker's yard to find a second-hand carburettor. It was on the other side of the city. Well, I wasn't in any hurry.
And?
Well, he stopped on this waste ground. There weren't no houses round or anything. He tried to touch me.
And did you?
No. It was the foreman. He asked me to take off my jersey. I didn't want to, because my mum had knitted it and I was a bit scared. But I did after a bit. And he...
What did he do? You can tell me. I'm trying to help, okay? I can't help you if you won't tell me things.
He felt my nipples.
And?
He played with my nipples. I didn't know what he was doing, really. But no, it was sort of nice and exciting. But then I thought, what if someone came and I told him to stop it? And then he started messing around a bit more, and I got scared, and I get out of the car and run away. My mum was ever so angry when I was late for tea.
And that was it.
I never saw him again. I was off sick for the rest of the week. Oh, and then I got transferred to a proper job. I didn't like him. Not really.
When was this?
Must be about 13 years ago. Oh, it was the day after Winston Churchill died, because we had his picture over the fireplace and my mum had put a bit of black ribbon around it.
And since then, nothing?
Well, of course, there's been blokes I thought about at work and that. There's this young lad, just started, quiet kid. I tried to help him out a bit when he's stuck. Thought about him a lot.
But you never said anything?
I couldn't. I get the sack.
Maybe he's...
No, I've never been in toilets or anything like that. Oh, that's where you go, isn't it?
Some people.
I went down the toilet years ago. I went into the city centre for the Christmas shopping. The man stood next to me, started waving it about. I didn't want none of that. I don't go to toilets now.
Ever?
I make sure I've been before I go out.
But what about...
I got to thinking about this kid at work, and then my dad started on about how I never had any friends and when I was going to bring home a nice girl.
Does he do that a lot?
Oh, he's getting on. He's 86 next year. He goes on about grandchildren, gets on my wick.
And then there was the vicar.
Vicar?
Yeah, on the radio.
Yes. Oh, and then they went up the British Legion, so I thought about it a bit, and well, then I rung up. I don't like the Legion. I don't like the drinking.
Yeah, you said.
I don't like the taste. It's got a funny taste.
He takes a sip of tea.
What's wrong? What's wrong?
Well, this has got a funny taste too.
I put in 3 sugars.
No, it's got a funny taste.
Oh, yes. Must be the brown sugar.
I don't like it.
That's all I've got. Sorry.
That's okay.
So now you want to meet gay people?
I'd like a friend.
Well, you can make lots of friends.
I mean, a real friend.
Well, you can't find one of them without actually meeting people.
I thought you might be my friend.
That's not possible. Sorry.
Don't you like me?
Not like that. No. Sorry. I'll do everything I can to help you, but...
You haven't got a friend. You told me so. Were you fibbing?
No, it's just that...
You don't like me. I know you wouldn't. I know you don't.
Listen. Even if I wanted to, we have a rule on Switchboard. The one rule nobody breaks ever. No sex with callers. Sorry to put it crudely. It's a hard rule sometimes, but if we didn't have it, there'd be all sorts of complications. If it got out there had been anything like that going on, well, we could get done for conspiracy, soliciting, procuring, and God knows what.
Mm.
Do you understand that?
Yeah. Play with my nipples, please.
I'm sorry?
It's not sex. That isn't. It isn't doing it.
But it's not the sort of thing I'd feel happy about, and I've told you why.
If you liked me, you'd play with my nipples.
I do like you as a person.
Not as a friend.
No, you can't just jump in like that. You can't expect everything to happen all at once.
So you could be my friend one day.
No, not really, if I'm honest.
All I wanted was a friend.
But there are plenty of others.
Keep saying that. Where?
Well, we could go along to the gay centre. Would you like that? Okay, well, what if I introduce you to some friends of mine somewhere else?
I don't drink.
That is a bit of a drawback. Most gay life is pub life. That's why the centre is there.
I don't want to be seen going into no gay centre.
Who's going to see you? The streets are deserted around there. Anyone who saw you would be going to the centre too.
There might be someone from work.
In which case, they will know that you're gay, but you'd know they're gay too, or at least sympathetic. You'll have something in common. Hey, you might see that kid from work.
No.
Julian, where are you? Shit, a break. Sorry. I didn't know your brother was, and his wife found out. Oh God. I'm sorry. I'm sorry about this, Roger. I'll keep it short, I promise. When he didn't have a chance to talk to her about it. Well, for Christ's sake, why did he leave them lying around? Surely to God he could have found somewhere to hide a bra and panties. It's not exactly large. Look, I'm with that guy. The one that you were meant to be meeting with. No, sorry, that's not a dig. But he's here right now, so I can't help you. Look, I've got to get back to Roger. Yes, Roger, that's his name. I'll see you Friday, okay? Bye. Sorry about that. I'm afraid you won't have the chance to meet Julian. Turns out his brother is TV.
Never watch it. Load of rubbish.
Oh, no. TV. Transvestite. Men who like dressing up as a woman.
I don't hold with anything kinky like that.
They're nice people.
I read about them in the papers. It's not right.
Let's just forget about it, shall we?
Here. He wasn't going to come here dressed like that, was he?
No, of course not. It's his brother.
Are you one of them transvestites?
No.
I don't want to meet anyone like that. It's not like being bent. That's just a curse that you're born with.
Please, it's not a curse.
Isn't it? All alone for 15 years. You think that's not a curse? All I wanted was a friend. A strong friend. It is a curse, being different. I hate it. Lying awake at night, sweating, heart pounding. I thought you'd understand.
I do, but you've got to come and meet us halfway, okay? You've got to give a little.
Well, what do you mean?
Meet people.
I can't.
You can. You met me, didn't you?
Well, that's different. I thought you were nice.
Well, it's not about me. It's about you. You've got to forget this stuff about curses, okay?
Well, it feels like a curse, whatever you say. When you're out, you think people are watching you. Sure, they can tell. That's why I keep myself to myself.
Is that what you want to do the rest of your life? Honestly, sit in your room, making your stereo and fantasizing, because if that's what you want, then you're going the right way about it. If you're happy with that, fine, fine. But you weren't happy when you rang me, were you? Were you?
No.
And you wanted to do something about it, didn't you?
I don't know.
Your parents are old, right? Aren't they? They won't last forever.
That's a cruel thing to say. That's horrible, that is.
Well, you may as well face facts. And after they've gone, then what will you do? Have you got any other family?
No.
You'll be on your own then. You'll have to look after yourself. No mum to knit you jumpers anymore, or cook, or do your washing. You'll have to start again. Find a new place, probably. And you'll be all alone.
That's horrible, that is. How could you say such things? You're cruel, you are.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry for making you cry. I didn't mean to. Oh no, look, what I'm trying to say is it doesn't have to be like that. I'm trying to show you a way out.
No, you're not. You're just spiteful. I don't like you anymore.
Roger.
And you don't like me.
Roger, please look at me. You've got to trust me. If you let yourself be guided, you'll be going into a different way of life like nothing you've ever known before. And you'll need a navigator. Look, a lot of it's going to be very strange and difficult. It's going to take a very long time, and maybe you'll even get hurt here and there. But it's the only way of smashing this shell that you've made for yourself.
Well, I don't want. What if I'm happy as I am?
But you're not. You know you're not. Look at you, you're not. You told me you're not. Hello, Julian. Why are you calling again? I told you. What happened? Well, he's hidden the things, right? Good. Then all he's got to do is sit tight and see if she brings up the subject. Look, I can meet you and him at the gay center tomorrow night in the bar, 9:30, but I've got a meeting upstairs till then. I'll come straight down. Okay, I've got to go. Bye. He tried ringing another TV, but then his wife answered the phone and it all freaked him out a bit. Sorry.
Oh. I think I'd better go.
Wait. Have you thought about leaving home?
Oh, no. I couldn't.
Why not?
I couldn't. Well, where'd I go?
There's flats, bedsits. Lots of people do it.
What's I do? I can't look after myself.
It's time you learnt then.
No, it's too late for that.
You don't even like being there.
That's not that bad.
Well, that's what you said before.
It would kill them.
Nonsense. They're tough old birds if they have to be. They've been through the Blitz. They'll get over you leaving home.
They're used to having me around the place, see.
At least you can meet some more people.
I'm not going to that gay centre. I'm not meeting transvestites.
No, I didn't mean that.
I can't get away in the evenings.
Well, you're here tonight.
I told them I was going to my Aunt Tilly's. They'll be back from the Legion by 10, so I can't stop long.
They must go out other nights.
Well, they never tell me.
Then you have to tell them.
It's different. I'm the only son.
Okay, if you find out they're going out, give me another ring and I can meet you again with a friend next time.
Oh, you'll be busy. You're always busy. You wouldn't want to be bothered with me.
I would.
You didn't want to be bothered with him.
What? Okay, if I was busy or out, you can ring Switchboard again. There's always someone on in the evening.
Well, I don't know them.
Well, you didn't know me.
No, that's different.
Why is it different? If you did it once, you can do it again.
No,
Why is it different?
it just is. I think I'd better go.
No, please don't. Please.
I'd better. My mum will be worrying.
He's not even there.
She might be. Maybe she's phoned Aunt Tilly.
If you're that worried, when can we get together again?
I don't know. I don't know when they'll go out.
Okay, well, when they do go out, will you give me a ring? Look, here's my number.
He writes down the number on scrap of paper.
No, I can't keep nothing like that. No. She'd start asking.
Then memorize it.
No head for figures, me.
You remembered Switchboards, didn't you?
Well,
what's their number?
6272000.
See, you can remember it if you want to.
Oh, that's an easy one.
Well, give them a ring when you can.
I don't know.
Please.
Oh, I'm sorry I wasted your time like this.
No, you haven't.
No, I shouldn't have come. I knew I shouldn't have come.
Hey, don't say that.
I just thought. "15 years I've been waiting. You don't know what it's like."
I do. Really, I do.
How can you? You've never done what I've done.
No, but...
All I wanted was a friend.
Squirrel can't stand this anymore and comforts him.
You've got a friend. Please. Believe that.
Play with my nipples.
What?
If you're my friend, prove it. Touch my nipples, please.
No, wait.
It's best. I'm in the way.
No, you're not.
You did your best. Fine.
I won't answer it. I'll leave it. I'll show you. I won't.
It'll ring again.
No.
Of course it will. I'm not stupid.
If it rings again, I will not answer it.
What's the point?
I'm on Switchboard this Saturday. Please, give me a ring then.
Maybe I'm best off as I am.
Please.
I'll think about it.
As he gets up to go, as he gets to the door.
Wait. If I touch your nipples, will you please come to the gay centre with me?
What?
If I play with your nipples, will you come to the gay centre with me? Come to the social on Friday. You don't have to drink or anything.
What about my mum?
Go and see your Aunt Tilly again. Tell them you're going to a movie.
Oh, no, I don't like the pictures, all that soppy romance, a load of rubbish.
Maybe there's a concert you can go to. I don't know. James Last, someone like that. You can think of something. Will you? Please meet me.
I don't know.
I'll play with your nipples. Okay? Nothing else, mind. But I will do that. So will you come to the centre on Friday?
Yes.
Come here. Take off your shirt.
No, you first.
Roger closes his eyes. Squirrel slowly reaches out his hands, unbuttons Roger's shirt, and then starts rubbing his nipples. Roger lets out a sigh as the lights slowly fade.
Please. Harder.
Blackout. End of scene 1, act 2. Act 2, scene 2. The meeting room of act 1, scene 1. 6 months later. Talbot is reading the evening paper. She throws it away in disgust.
Bastards! Oh, poor squirrel!
To Carol.
Hello, am I the first?
Norton's next door. He's trying to phone more volunteers.
Have you read it?
Yes,
What do you think?
it's filth.
But if it's true,
It's still filth. The Echo has been waiting for a chance to get us for years. This is just an excuse. Look at the campaign they've had against the Gay Centre.
the council couldn't just close us down, could they?
That's what the Echo wants. Fortunately, we have a few allies. Councillor Martin, Councillor Crossman.
They'll
Yeah.
find it hard to defend this.
After all the hassle we had getting adverts into the papers in the first place. Remember CHE took the issue to the Press Council and then the NUJ worked to rule. Then, thank heaven, Mr. Born Again Family Newspaper retired.
Say it quietly, but I've actually seen the Echo's new advertising manager at the Centre Disco. Her name's Jocelyn. She's quite tasty in a lipsticky sort of way.
I think I saw Louise copping off with her. That can't have done us any harm.
Louise?
The wife of Andrew, our resident bisexual. Seems his wife is too.
Better not tell Andrew.
Sure.
But now the editor of the Echo can turn around and say, I told you so.
And have a love rubbing it in. Bastards!
And yet there must be something in it. They wouldn't dare print a complete lie.
Wouldn't they?
They'd worry about libel, wouldn't they? Squirrel could sue. I can't believe he'd
Of course
do...
he didn't. He knows better than that.
What can we do?
Fight back, pick it, throw a brick through the window, you name it.
Enter Nev.
Sorry, I can't stop. Got to get me gear out.
What do you mean?
You've seen it, haven't you?
So what?
That's it, isn't it?
No, it's not. For a start, we don't even know if it's true.
Doesn't matter if it's true. Those blokes aren't letting the grass grow under their feet, I can tell you. It was on the local radio too. I heard it on my way into town. They're not going to let it stop here. They're going to keep at it until something gets done.
Something is going to get done. We'll demonstrate, put out a press release.
Oh, big fucking deal. A press release, that'll put the fear of God into them. Whatever happens, I reckon this place will be swarming with pigs any day soon. Then the post office will withdraw service, as they call it. It means your phone gets cut off. And then sooner or later, some bright spark is going to go sniffing around that little back room and he's going to say, I wonder where all this lovely gear comes from. And he's going to lift up that little black box and see Post Office Telecommunications on the bottom. And he's going to twig that this wasn't put in by Post Office engineers, not officially. And then the shit will really hit the fan.
And what about Switchboard?
What about my fucking job? It's a criminal offence. what I've been doing here for this switchboard. It's almost on a par with treason. Do you want me to go to prison?
Sorry.
I'm sorry too. It's too bloody risky. I'll start disconnecting. Let me know when you want me in the meeting.
He exits.
Do you think he's right about the police?
Maybe. If the worst comes to the worst, it might not come to anything at all. We just don't know.
How could he?
He didn't. It's all panicking about nothing.
But what about
Wait and see. Let Squirrel tell us for himself.
Enter Norton.
Only the two of you.
The lesbians are always the first to arrive.
Nev's upstairs? He's disconnecting his gear.
Good.
Good, it's a disaster.
He's right to be careful.
Careful of what? Libelous crap that no one can prove?
We have to protect the reputation of Switchboard.
Even if it means closing it down, how do you propose we carry on without any equipment?
I don't want to argue with you. Can we get started? Get Nevin.
What about Squirrel?
We can't wait.
4 of us out of 30? That can't be right.
The quorum is 8.
We can't wait.
Nev says the police could come here at any time.
He might well be right.
My, if they haven't got a warrant, don't let them in.
And if we don't let them in, how does it look then?
What about all the confidential files, the logbooks, the letters?
As far as they're concerned, or anybody else, we've got nothing to hide.
And what about Squirrel?
Enter Julian. Norton taps his watch accusingly.
I got caught in the rush hour. What's the big drama then? All sounded very mysterious on the phone.
I was phoning from here and the phone may be bugged.
Get away, we were being tapped. Why didn't somebody say?
We had no reason to think we were before, but now something's come up to make it all too likely.
Have you seen tonight's Echo?
Never buy it. Right-wing rag.
You better read it.
She hands the paper to him.
What an awful picture. Where on earth did they get that? Squirrel looks like a junkie.
He was at the time, I believe.
Enter Squirrel.
Hey, sugar. Sorry I'm late, Norton. Came as soon as I got your message. Thanks for dropping it round.
Jocelyn at the Echo tipped me off. I wanted to get to you before the story broke. Thanks for coming at such short notice.
Look, I hope it's not going to take too long. I've got to meet a guy at 8 o'clock, and I'd rather get some chips beforehand in case he wants to go for a drink. I haven't had anything to eat all day, so...
Don't worry, I'll meet him.
But
I'll meet him.
Probably won't turn up anyway.
Why the long faces, everybody?
You mean you have no idea?
Is this a game?
Haven't you seen the paper?
No. Should I?
Read it to him, Julian.
Here.
No, you read it. You can get the full effect.
Sex by phone. An evening Echo exclusive. A telephone counselling service, inverted commas, claiming to offer confidential information and advice about homosexuality, also inverted commas, was today revealed as nothing more than a male brothel, more inverted commas. Oh, they love their inverted commas, don't they?
Protection against libel if they're quoting. Go on.
Men could ring up and arrange a meeting for sex any evening, alleged Mr. Roger Wallace of Camburn Drive, Handsworth. In an exclusive interview, Mr. Wallace told an Echo reporter, "I rang them up once. I was hoping they would give me treatment to help me. I realise now I should have been seen by a doctor, but I was under a lot of emotional stress at the time." Instead of receiving treatment, Mr. Wallace alleges that the operator Squirrel, more inverted commas, arranged to meet him at a private address a few days later, where he offered to have sex with him.
That's not true.
It gets worse.
I didn't know what to do, said Mr. Wallace. I was very confused. I let him do what he wanted, but I didn't enjoy it.
Yeah, like fuck you didn't.
Do you want me to go on?
Yes. Yes.
This is Wallace again. He later persuaded me to visit haunts of homosexuals and tried to persuade me to lead the life he was leading. I soon realized this wasn't for me. Mr. Wallace claims he saw several show business figures and at least one MP at these places. Mr. Wallace now claims to be completely cured. It was just a bad patch I was going through. He praise torched the Christian homosexual counselling service. I went to see them after my mother died. I was so upset with the way that I was feeling and everything. They helped me to put it right. They showed me that I could cure myself if I really wanted to. Recently, Mr. Wallace has thrown himself into local politics and is standing as the National Front candidate for Handsworth in the local elections. He's also a member of the new Pentecostal Bible Church, Handsworth. Its minister, Peter Deakins, first contacted the Echo last week. We're very worried about the spread of homosexuality encouraged by this organisation under the guise of counselling. We're pleased that Roger has seen the light, blah, blah, blah. Mr. Wallace is now cured. But how many other emotionally disturbed people are still at risk? See Echo comment, page 6. Do you want the editorial?
No, thanks. You can imagine what it says. Need for properly qualified medical authorities, children at risk.
Oh, he's over 30, for fuck's sake.
Nev says it was on the radio too.
They've also called for police action.
Of course, you're going to deny it. Fight it.
First things first. Without Nev's gear, we've got no intercom to the coffee bar, no answering service for out of hours, and no lights to indicate whether the operator's on the phone.
We'll get some calls too after this.
It's not going to be very pleasant for the next few days.
It
weeks
will
even.
pass eventually.
We have to double up immediately since we won't be able to contact anyone else in the building. I've cancelled everything so I can sit in with whoever is on. Julian, I want you to bully every operator you can get your hands on to fill that rota twice over for the next month.
I think we're going to lose a few. I bet some of them believe the story and resign.
You've got to try. I don't care if they're trainees or haven't done it for months. We've got to double up. Carol?
Yes?
Can you make a new notice for the door of the switchboard room? Lights out of action, knock quietly and wait to be let in.
Sure.
Carrying on, you can't be serious. I reckon this is it. We might as well shut up shop.
Nonsense. We've run without answer phones and stuff before. We don't need the frills, and Nev can bring the gear back when it's all blown over. At least we've still got a phone going.
For the moment.
What about the files? If the police come,
I took the afternoon off when Jocelyn called me, got all letters out of the building. They were my mother's.
What about the information files?
Photostated, also at my mother's.
What if they want to search her?
Have you met my mother? They wouldn't dare.
And if the phone's tapped?
If it's tapped, it's tapped. I thought of getting the operator to transfer calls to my home phone, but if they tap one, they'll probably tap the other.
And this is the man who said how decent the police had been.
Oh, shut up, Squirrel. You're out of this.
Don't talk to him like that.
You expect me to congratulate him? How long till opening?
3/4 of an hour.
Which leaves us, as far as I can see, 2 matters. What to do about the story and what to do about Squirrel.
Get a press release immediately. You've got to deny everything.
Haven't the press and radio contacted you for a comment?
You forget, Squirrel is the press contact. It's on all our press releases.
Haven't they been in touch with you?
Not been home.
Where have you been all day?
Just out.
Where?
Nowhere in particular.
And you didn't see the papers? Nobody told you?
Look, if you must know, I was down at the clap clinic.
Anything serious?
Well, just the catch-all. NSU, nothing serious. But the queues were horrendous.
Didn't anybody say anything or recognize you?
From that photo, you must be joking.
Didn't they recognize the name at the hospital?
I used my so-called real name. David Briggs, my birth name.
Well, they may not have caught up with you yet, but you can be sure they will. When you get home, there'll be half a dozen reporters on the doorstep and dozens more by tomorrow. You won't be able to get out of your door in the morning.
You better stay over at my place. You'll be safer.
I can deal with it. I've got nothing to hide. I'm not afraid.
Porters, National Front, born-agains. Don't be reckless, Squirrel. Stay with Talbot or me.
You admit the story is true.
No, he doesn't. He admits nothing. Don't be ridiculous.
He admits he had sex.
Consensual sex.
We don't have sex with callers. Why did you make an exception just because he's your friend?
I hope he's all our friend.
So, tell us what happened, Squirrel.
He's told you.
I'm talking to Squirrel. I'm only asking what the police are likely to ask, and I'm asking a lot more nicely than they will.
Lay it off him, Norton. Tell me, Sugar. Tell me what happened.
No, I'll go now, if that's what you want. That's what you want, Norton, isn't it?
You are not going. If you go, I go, so stay put. It isn't fair.
You're too right, it isn't. Years I've put into this place, week in, week out. You all know how hard I work, and now this shit.
Did you know this, Roger Wallace?
Yeah, you know I did. I did a befriending. Brought him into the centre a few months ago. You met him.
Did I?
Yes, you too, Julian.
I don't remember.
Of course you don't. You ignored him. Both of you.
Oh, yes, I remember. Face like a wet weekend in Wigan.
Yes. That's the one.
Uphill work if ever there was one. Haven't seen him since.
Oh. Ooh. And that's why, because you ignored him. Everyone ignored him.
What I don't understand is if he was coming down here and everything, how did this happen?
Was he the one who kept following you around?
That's the one. He used to sit in the coffee bar for hours asking for Squirrel when Squirrel was coming in. Never spoke to anyone.
Nobody ever spoke to him.
He was difficult.
Yes, that's the word. Very difficult. He was just one of those people we couldn't do anything for. You have to accept your limits.
So we can only help those nice, articulate, middle-class people who probably don't need any of our help anyway. You only want the easy ones.
I tried to talk to him once. He just shrank away. I think he was scared of women. In the end, I gave up.
You can't be on duty all the time.
Why not? Squirrel is.
It was his befriendee. If he couldn't cope, he should have referred it to someone else. There are other people.
You can't say it's Squirrel's fault. He did absolutely everything he could. Is it his fault the centre's so unfriendly? Is it his fault that gays are shy just like everyone else?
Of course not. We need a proper befriending group.
From the look of him, I don't think he'd ever have come out. He wasn't the type.
Obviously not.
Could have had a life of his own, yeah. All he needed was confidence.
And you don't get confidence being eyed up in a coffee bar and nobody talking to you.
Nobody would eye up Roger. He was a mess.
Not in that sense. The sort of look which says, what's that doing in here? Nobody will put any work into unless you're young and pretty.
You knew what he was like. You knew what the centre could be like. You should have stuck by him, but no, you were distracted as usual and too fucking busy. So you left him to sink or swim and he sank.
They have to do something for themselves too.
Look, there are some people we simply cannot help. They're out on a limb or just socially inadequate. There's nothing we can do about it within our resources. We have our job to do and we can't do another one as well. It's hard, yes, but you just have to let the inadequates go their own way.
Inadequates? We're the inadequates, not them.
You can't take on the whole world for heaven's sake.
And you decide that for them, do you? Who's an adequate and who's an inadequate? Who's one of us and who isn't? What? Just say, sorry, but you'll never make it as a homosexual. So why not scurry back into the closet and the cottage and the tough shit? They have a right to a choice, you know? Every choice that we can give them.
He had choices, like everyone else. He chose to fall in love with you and you let him, then left him flat. What kind of choice is that?
No. He wanted so much attention. I couldn't give it to him.
He's found somebody to give it to now.
This isn't going anywhere, Norton. This isn't time for post-mortems. We need a blanket denial.
Wait a minute. Squirrel, has Roger ever been to your house?
Yes.
Alone?
Yes.
When?
Just after his first call.
And when was that?
Look in the log.
I have. I just wondered if he'd called before and you hadn't entered it.
Oh, what do you take me for? Come on, let's go, Talbot.
You must stay. For the sake of Switchboard, you're the heart and soul of it.
No, I can't take it anymore.
You've given 5 years of your life. God knows how many people you've helped. Do you want to turn your back on that?
No.
Then you've got to stay.
So you had your first call Sunday, 15th May.
Yeah.
And you met him a few days later?
On the Wednesday.
Why the fuck did you meet him on your own? You knew there was a scare on.
Oh, do you think I wanted to? Julian was meant to be there.
I had a flat battery. I tried to ring you up, but there was no answer.
Then you couldn't have taken a bus for once in your life.
I would have been late. I thought he'd gone out. I'm kicking myself now.
Honestly, it's okay. Please don't beat yourself up. So, Norton, what was I meant to tell Roger? Go away and come back when I've got someone with me.
And did anything happen?
Whatever you say, we'll believe you. We'll stand by you.
We've got to know. The papers will be coming for you.
There was no sex.
Is that it?
I did not have sex.
The whole story?
I felt his tits.
You did what?
I felt his tits.
Oh, God.
What is so funny about that?
Oh, God, it's so typical. It's very squirrel, know what I mean? You didn't want to hurt his feelings, you big softy.
Yeah. I mean, it wasn't funny at the time, but... yeah.
It isn't funny now. I'm sorry to spoil the party, but this isn't the end of the matter by any means. Have you any idea how that would sound in court?
I felt his tits, my lord.
Will you two stop treating this as a joke? Soliciting, indecent assault, incitement, conspiracy, corruption of public morals, 2 years, 5 years, is that funny? So you felt his tits. In heaven's name, what were you thinking of?
He was about to go. The phone kept ringing. I kept trying to get him to the point where he'd go out, meet someone else. I'd have taken him to Mary fucking Poppins if I had to. He lived at home. He hadn't had sex for 15 years. He wouldn't meet anyone, do anything. Totally negative.
That doesn't mean you had to pander to him.
I was going to lose him. It was that bloody phone.
You could have taken it off the hook. You should have met him somewhere else.
Well, he didn't drink. There wasn't anywhere else, honestly. He wouldn't come here. Sure, I could have said, I'm sorry, it's not what Switchboard's for. Christ, I did actually say that. You don't think I wanted to play with his stupid tits, do you? But if I'd said that, he'd have gone. He'd have gone off, and we'd have never have heard from him again until there was a 1-paragraph story in the Echo about a death from an overdose of barbiturates.
Or he could have rung again.
No. No, not that one. Not the type. But if I went along with him, I thought there was... I don't know, I thought there was a real chance he'd do what I really wanted him to do afterwards.
You didn't want to lose him. We've all been there.
You lost him anyway.
No, we lost him. He sat in the corner waiting for Squirrel to turn up and nobody talked to him.
I tried.
Not enough. At least Squirrel got him there. That's more than any of you lot would have done.
I want you to think very carefully before you answer this one. Was this fondling explicitly sexual?
What do you mean?
You know bloody well what I mean. Did he fucking come?
I don't know.
Oh, don't be ridiculous. You must know.
I don't. After a bit, he was sort of sighing and he had his eyes closed. He gave this little grunt and he rolled his eyes up into his head and he stopped, just stopped. And I stopped and he said, thank you. It was all very polite. And then he was very docile.
He didn't wipe himself. You didn't see any stain on his trousers.
Come on.
Oh, please.
I didn't see anything.
As far as the press is concerned, we can issue a denial and await developments. Or we can say we're investigating the matter, but in the meantime, the operator has been asked to leave.
Don't be absurd. You can't sack Squirrel.
I won't sack him. The group will sack him. It's a collective decision.
No, I've offered to go.
It would be an admission of guilt.
Suspend him then, pending investigation. Then he can come back.
We can't do without him.
No one is indispensable.
Certainly not you.
It's the service we've got to think of first. We can't afford to take risks.
Of course we take risks. It's just you choose some risks and not others.
Right, yeah. Don't give out cottages because people who ask for cottages, aren't our sort of people. You write them off.
But you risk talking to gay teenagers.
Because they need the kind of service that we can provide.
Oh, you play God, huh? How do you know someone you give a cottage to won't remember us and come back later? Because we didn't pass judgment on them. We keep the possibilities open.
And now your way of keeping the lines open gets us closed down.
He hasn't done anything remotely illegal. You're blowing this up out of all proportion.
Oh, who's the judge going to believe? Squirrel or this Wallace bloke? Who's the jury going to believe? A jury that's been reading the Echo.
Who says the police are going to do anything? A nasty little article in a nasty little rag. It'll be forgotten by tomorrow.
Not if the Echo has its way.
Roger was obviously a weirdo.
Should we use words like weirdo?
Well, he was.
Think, Talbot, think. If Rogers made a complaint, they have to investigate, and there's plenty of police who'd like to.
Is that your decent police?
The police will search his flat, maybe all our flats. They'll go through our address books, our shelves, and do you know what Squirrel shelves are like? Men loving men, the joy of gay sex, gay news, gay times, body politic, Boston fag rag, need I go on?
Nev has come into the room and is standing in the doorway. He puts his electrical gear down.
Can I just say something?
But it's so...
Shut up a second, Albert. Shut up. I can use my own tongue, please. All I wanted to say was that as far as Switchboard is concerned, what I did was off my own bat. I'd say that to anybody.
Thanks. I just want to know one thing. Has anything like this ever happened before? Anything remotely like it?
Yes. Once, remember when I first rang up Switchboard? You'll find it in the log, April the 14th, 1975. I know it by heart. I looked at it so often since. 16-year-old boy thrown out of home. Parents found magazine under bed, very upset and confused, crying a lot. Gave reassurance and talked him down. Duration 131 minutes. Signed Squirrel. I didn't know where to go. I didn't have anybody I could stay with, just a number I'd seen on a sticker on a bog wall. I'd never done it or anything like that, just thought about it. What the hell do you do? Squirrel put me up. We talked all that night, it seemed, and most of the following day. He told me about his folks throwing him out too, and his dad beating him up. What it felt like, it was like, I don't know, like a dam bursting. Corny in it, but true. It just all came out suddenly in a rush. Everything made sense. First time somebody understood. He'd been through the same things, see. And then, the second night we fucked. No two ways about it. We fucked. To lie there with a man, a real man, all of my own. After all the dreaming, I didn't think it was happening to me. I couldn't believe it. Talk about jam on it. It was bloody marvelous. I found a hotel to live the next day, got a trainee place at the GPO, and it never happened again. It didn't need to. I knew, and I'd made up my mind. I wouldn't be here if it weren't for him. and sleeping with him was part of it. That's all I want to say. I'll get my gear out of the van now.
Nev exits. Pause.
Anybody else? Any other incidents we don't know about?
No, that's it.
You're sure?
You can take his word, for God's sake, Norton.
I want to make a formal proposal to this meeting, and I want to make it quite clear that if it isn't accepted, I will not be able to carry on as switchboard coordinator or indeed as an operator. I want to propose that Squirrel be barred from switchboard in any capacity permanently.
Do you want me to leave the room?
Do you want to leave? You may want to speak in your own defense. Anybody got anything they want to say?
I still don't see why we can't just deny it.
Because it's too close to the truth. This bloke says he didn't want to, Squirrel says he did, but we have to admit that something happened. What do you think, Julian?
I'm afraid I agree with Norton. I'm sorry, Squirrel, because you're a good chap and a bloody fine operator. But we've got to be above suspicion and seem to be above suspicion.
Exactly.
Scapegoat. You're using Squirrel as a fucking scapegoat. If you ran it anywhere half decently.
I don't run Switchboard, the meetings do.
If anybody did their fair share of work around here, Squirrel wouldn't be rushed off his poor feet and none of this would have happened.
You admit then that he was under some stress?
Yes.
No.
I don't know.
And could do with a break?
Yes.
So he's lucked out. It's not the end of the world.
Why all this rush? It's so premature. You're admitting his guilt.
It's keeping our house in order before someone else does it for us. We've got the application into the Charity Commission. I've already had to rewrite that twice.
Yeah. It has to be about homosexuality, not for homosexuals, because queers don't deserve to have a fucking charity.
I don't write the rules, and if we want charitable status with all the advantages...
What advantages? No campaigning, no protesting. You would put us all in a bloody straitjacket.
You're the ones, you two, always complaining about lack of resources, lack of publicity, lack of volunteers, lack of training. If we get to be a charity, a whole load of grants open up to us. Cadbury's, Roundtree's, the council too. We can get better premises, paid workers.
What's the price?
We've been over all this before. We agreed to apply.
What's the price?
The price is Squirrel's arse on a plate.
Of course! We'll have to be more professional. Get accreditation as a helpline, submit proper accounts, annual report, that sort of thing.
And have outputs and outcomes and service standards and targets and heavens to Betsy, customers, not callers.
Well, what's wrong with raising our game? Of course we should have standards, professional standards. What's wrong with that?
Because we're not fucking professionals, that's what's wrong. We shouldn't pretend to be what we're not. Now I understand. That's why you're doing this. This is all just an excuse so you can get rid of any opposition to your plans for respectability, for acceptance. And then when you get the grants, you get a nice little paid job as switchboard manager and never have to talk to all those messy, untidy, little inadequate no-hopers who ring us up ever again.
If it's good enough for all the other advice lines, marriage guidance and Samaritans, the vicars and the social workers and CSV, it should be good enough for us. We should be objective. We really should.
No, we are better than that. They just stand back and let people talk. Non-directional counselling, they call it. They want to pat your hand and say, yes, dear, isn't it awful? Look, that may be your idea of a switchboard, but it is not mine. I want to get people off their asses and get them angry and wanting to do something about it. I want to tell them about gay liberation and how they can change their own lives and those of other people. All these people ringing us up, paralyzed with guilt. All they want is permission. Permission to feel. Permission to enjoy themselves. Permission to fight back. But they'll only take it from someone who's opened up, who has responded to them opening up. Oh, you've got to be more than a voice. You've got to be a person, a whole person.
If it solves their problems, yes.
People are not problems. It's not one of your bloody crosswords, Norton. All we have to offer them is ourselves, our emotions, our beliefs, our example as positive, happy gays who've been making something of our lives.
Oh, stop living in the past. The Gay Liberation Front is dead. We need more than good intentions these days.
We have more than good intentions. We have queer skills.
Oh, don't use that word.
We show them that they must come out for the sake of their sanity, that they must fight back against the straitjackets and the bigotry. We have to give them the guts to do it. Non-directional be buggered.
He's right. He told me what to do in no uncertain terms. And I'm glad, because I'd never have done it otherwise. He told me to get laid a lot, and I did. And to go on demonstrations, and I did. To get involved, and I did. He didn't say anything about finding love.
He takes Neville's
But I
hand.
did.
He told you that you were entitled to love.
He did that, and he is.
Nev and Alex kiss.
Of course. However, relationships between colleagues in the workplace are not to be encouraged.
We need a vote. I want a vote.
Don't worry, you can keep your fucking switchboard. I wouldn't want to come back if all it's fit for is giving directions to pubs. The sort of people you want to help, they don't even really need our help anyway.
He slams out.
I still want to vote. For the record, we have to demonstrate responsibility. Julian? Carol?
If it helps with the charity application.
I'm sorry, Talbot.
Okay,
If we
I found
can't
this on the web.
deny it.
Alex? Nev?
Maybe he ought to be suspended for a wee while. Just suspended for an investigation.
You heard what he said. He won't be back.
Do you believe that? He won't be able to stay away. It's his whole life.
I can't vote for... No, sorry, Norton.
Well, I can. Stupid idiot. Trouble he's caused. Only gear out now. And the risks I ran getting it here in the first place. Sorry, darling. But I'm with Norton on this one. I know we owe him, but...
Okay. For barring Squirrel.
He counts himself, Carol, Julian and Nev,
Against?
Talbot and Alex.
That seems pretty clear. 4-6.
You can't. It's not our decision to make. We need 8 for a quorum, 25% of a membership.
I made some calls. Bernard and Andrew agree with me. The Constitution allows for proxies and postal votes. That brings it up to 8, and 6-2 is pretty decisive.
You planned this pretty carefully, didn't you, you cunt?
Yeah,
Alex
well,
and Nev are deeply shocked at the brutality of this unfeminist language, so unlike Talbot.
we'd better get this stuff out of the van. Come on, Chuck.
They exit.
What's the time?
10 to 8.
Good. Just in time. Who's on tonight?
I am.
Are you going to do it?
I don't know.
Please, Talbot.
I've got a lot of thinking to do.
Can't it wait? There's a phone to answer.
I suppose so, just this once.
Do you want me to sit in with you?
Would you?
I'll ring for more volunteers. I can do that from home. I'm sorry. This is all my fault, really. If I hadn't had a flat battery.
Okay, so it's every reddy body's fault. Having something to blame puts the world to rights. I didn't mean that.
I'd better go.
I hope Squirrel's all right.
You can ring Switchboard if he's not.
Oh, get the fuck out of here.
He's always got you.
Me with my mop and bucket.
Talbot, this was nothing personal.
Just go.
He gathers his papers in a leisurely way and goes. There is a defiant smugness about him. He knows he is right. As he does so, Squirrel reappears.
You're gonna go meet that bloke for me. You better hurry up.
Christ, I've forgotten all about him.
No comment.
Where was it again?
Under the clock tower. About 50. Marriage just broken up. His name is Andrew.
Children?
2.
I'll pick the rest up from him. Excuse me.
He exits hastily.
Not even a goodbye.
Oh, he's feeling guilty. Poor Norton.
Hey, it's 5 to 8.
Go ahead. Can you give me a moment?
She looks around the room, picks up the paper again, glances at it, drops it in disgust in the wastepaper bin, looks at the logbook, flicks through it, looking for Squirrel's entries.
Remember when the council offered us this place? After the dairy went bust. There were still old milk churns in the corner, just there. Me and Norton painted this room, just the 2 of us. Could do with another lick of paint now.
Don't even think of it. Not at the moment.
We sat in together on the first night we opened, wondering if anyone would call. Waited a whole hour, like hosting a party, and you've got snacks and the beer keg and David Bowie's on, and you're wondering if any guests will turn up.
Did they?
Yeah, 2. One from Wolverhampton and one wrong number, he said. Do you think it would be okay to take some stickers with me? I think I can get rid of them on the way home.
You're not going home. You're coming to mine. I'll see you later.
She fishes her house keys out and gives them to him.
But I can still do some stickering. The show goes on.
I must go. You'd best be off.
She goes to the phone room. Squirrel stands for a long time alone, then goes and picks up some stickers from the box. As he does so, the phone can be heard from next door. He freezes for a couple of seconds, then slowly walks out. The lights gradually fade as the phone gets louder and louder into the darkness. The end.